6 cleaning hacks for elderly, disabled, and seniors in pain. Easy, lazy, but super effective tips. Have you ever found yourself wishing for a simpler way to keep your home neat without feeling drained or overwhelmed? If that sounds like you, you're definitely not alone. The good news? Keeping your space clean doesn't have to be a physically exhausting task, especially when you've got smart, senior-friendly strategies that save energy and effort. In today's video, I'll walk you through practical pain-free cleaning tips made specifically for older adults. Whether you're living with chronic pain, limited mobility, or just looking to clean a little smarter, not harder. These small changes can help you protect your joints, avoid fatigue, and keep your home feeling fresh and peaceful. And trust me, tip number 4 is a total game changer. One tiny adjustment that might completely shift how you feel about cleaning forever. If you appreciate simple solutions that truly make life easier, go ahead and tap that like button, and don't forget to share your favorite cleaning habit in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders so you don't miss future videos full of uplifting, helpful ideas for everyday living. Now let's dive right in, starting with the very first tip. Tip number 1, break cleaning into 10-minute chunks. Dọn nhà kiểu rảnh tay. Mỗi ngày một chút, nhẹ nhàng mà hiệu quả. Have you ever started cleaning and found yourself completely wiped out before you even finished the first room? For many older adults, especially those living with joint pain, fatigue, or limited mobility, deep cleaning can feel like a full-body workout. Bending, scrubbing, lifting, moving furniture, it's more than just tiring. It's dangerous, and it can turn a simple household chore into a full-day recovery. But here's the truth. You don't need to do it all at once. In fact, you shouldn't. One of the kindest things you can do for yourself and your body is to work with your energy, not against it. And that starts with something as simple as this, just 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes, that's all. Set a timer. Choose one small task. Wipe the bathroom mirror. Sweep under the table. Clear a single drawer. And then, stop. Breathe. Go enjoy a cup of tea. Sit by the window. Let that be enough. It might sound too simple, but here's the magic. When you clean in small, manageable moments, you avoid overwhelm. You reduce the strain on your joints, and most importantly, you keep moving without burning out. According to the Mayo Clinic, this kind of micro-chore routine is one of the most effective methods for seniors with arthritis, fatigue, or chronic pain. It helps build consistency without causing stress or physical setbacks. It's not about pushing harder. It's about pacing yourself and preserving the energy you do have. Now let me tell you about someone who made this shift. Arthur is 79. He lives just outside of Des Moines, Iowa. He's always been proud of his home, but in the last few years, the thought of cleaning the whole place in one day started to feel impossible. He'd try, but the effort left him sore for hours, sometimes even days. Then one morning, he decided to do something different. He set a timer on his phone for just 10 minutes. That day, he wiped down his kitchen counters. The next, he emptied out a drawer in the bathroom. He said, that timer changed everything. I started looking forward to those 10 minutes. It made me feel like I was in charge again. And you know what? That's the point. Not to have a perfect house, but to feel like you still run it on your terms. What about you? Have you tried breaking up your chores like this before? If so, what's your go-to 10-minute task? I'd love to hear it. Leave a comment below and share it with others. You might be surprised how helpful your small routine could be for someone else. And if this tip gave you even a little sense of ease or relief, go ahead and give this video a like. Maybe even send it to a friend or loved one who could use a little permission to take things slow. Because at Golden Wise Elders, we believe getting older doesn't mean doing less. It means doing things smarter. And speaking of smarter, our next tip might just save your back from ever having to lift another laundry basket again. Let's move on. Tip number 2. Use a rolling cart, not your back now. Let me ask you something. How many times have you picked up a laundry basket only to feel that sharp pull in your lower back or that tight pressure in your shoulders that stays with you for hours? It happens more than we care to admit. The truth is, as we age, our bodies are whispering something important. Be kind to me. And yet so often we try to push through, carry just one more load of towels, move just one more pile of clutter across the room. But here's the thing. You don't have to carry everything anymore, not when there's a better way. One of the easiest, most helpful changes you can make at home is to switch from lifting to rolling. A lightweight folding cart with wheels can quite literally take the weight off your shoulders and your back and your knees. You can use it for laundry, for cleaning supplies, even for groceries from the car to the kitchen. And it's not just about convenience. It's about preserving your strength for the things that truly matter. In fact, the American Physical Therapy Association recommends minimizing repetitive lifting after age 65 to protect against joint strain, lower back degeneration, and balance-related injuries. Translation: the less you lift, the better you live. Let me share a quick story with you. Evelyn is 76. She lives alone in a quiet suburb outside Portland, Oregon. She used to do all the laundry for herself and her husband. But after he passed, she kept the habit, even when her hands ached, even when her back begged her to stop. One day, after nearly dropping a basket full of damp clothes, her daughter brought her a small rolling cart. At first, Evelyn resisted. She said, "I don't want to feel old." But her daughter just smiled and said, "No, Mom, you're not getting old. You're getting smarter." Now Evelyn uses that cart every single day, not just for laundry, but for carrying cleaning supplies, small groceries, even her knitting basket from room to room. And she says something beautiful. "It gave me back my independence without costing me my body." So here's my gentle question to you. Is there something in your home you're still carrying that you could simply roll instead? What would it feel like to let that weight go, literally and emotionally? If this tip sparks something for you, a small idea, or even a bit of relief, go ahead and give this video a like. And if you know someone who still insists on doing it all by hand, share this with them too. Sometimes the smartest strength is knowing when to roll, not lift. And as we talk about smart swaps, the next tip will show you how to clean with less effort and fewer chemicals, just by switching what's in your hands. Ready for the next one? This next tip might just surprise you. Tip number 3. Keep cleaning products in small bottles. Have you ever reached for a bottle of cleaner, only to feel your wrist twist or your fingers slip? Maybe it's the weight. Maybe it's the stiff trigger that takes more effort than it should. Or maybe it's just one more reminder that your hands don't move like they used to. For many older adults, especially those living with arthritis, weakened grip strength, or nerve pain, even something as simple as cleaning spray can become a real barrier. And here's the thing, it's not your fault. Most cleaning products are made for 20-year-olds with strong hands and perfect joints, but you deserve tools that work for you, not against you. One of the easiest fixes you can make? Transfer your cleaning solutions into smaller, lighter bottles, 8 to 12 ounces. That's it. Same product, same power, but suddenly it's manageable again. A smaller spray bottle is easier to hold, easier to aim, easier to finish. No more overgripping, no more spills, and no more that moment where the bottle slips and shatters on the floor. The Arthritis Foundation strongly recommends using lightweight, ergonomic tools for everyday tasks to reduce joint flare-ups, prevent injury, and conserve energy. You don't need more pain from trying to keep your home clean. You need support. And that can start with something as simple as the bottle in your hand. Let me tell you about someone who made this change. His name is Walter. He's 74 and he lives down in Sarasota, Florida. Walter used to be a pretty tidy guy, but after his arthritis got worse, even simple cleaning became frustrating. One afternoon, he dropped a full-size bleach bottle on the kitchen tile. It cracked, it splashed, it stung, and he said, "That was the day I gave up trying." But the next week, his neighbor brought him a small spray bottle, pre-filled with diluted cleaner, easy to hold, with a smooth trigger. He hesitated at first, then he gave it a try. Now, Walter cleans in short bursts, a little at a time, with no pain. He even keeps a small bottle in each room and says he hasn't dropped a single one since. You see, it's not about giving up control, it's about reclaiming it with the right tools in your hands. So let me ask you, what's the hardest bottle to use in your home? Is there one that frustrates you every time you clean? Share it in the comments, because chances are someone else is facing the same struggle. And maybe, just maybe, your tip will help them find relief too. And if this idea sparked a little aha moment for you, give this video a like. Share it with someone whose hands have been doing too much for too long. Sometimes making life easier starts with something as simple as changing the bottle. And speaking of simple changes, our next tip could help you clean without scrubbing, without chemicals, and with just a soft cloth. Let's keep going. Tip number 4. Use microfiber cloths instead of traditional dusters. Let me tell you something surprising. One of the most common causes of hand and wrist strain among older adults isn't vacuuming. It isn't mopping. It's dusting. Yes, dusting. You wouldn't think it, right? But the repeated motion, the stretching, the pressure on sore joints, and worst of all, those flimsy cloths or feather dusters that just push the dust around rather than pick it up. If you've ever wiped the same shelf 3 times and still seen dust glimmer in the sunlight, you know exactly what I mean. But what if I told you there's a better way? A way that's gentler on your hands, safer for your breathing, and more effective, all at once. Enter the microfiber cloth. These cloths are made of ultrafine fibers, thousands of tiny threads that actually trap dust and dirt rather than scatter it into the air. They're incredibly soft, which means they won't scratch wood, glass, or electronics. And best of all, they do the job with almost no pressure, no more harsh chemicals, no more aggressive scrubbing, just a light, gentle pass, and you're done. The National Institutes of Health has noted that microfiber cloths are up to 3 times more effective at trapping allergens and dust particles than standard cotton or synthetic rags. For people with asthma, COPD, or environmental sensitivities, this isn't just helpful. It's a game changer. Let me introduce you to someone who knows this firsthand. Carol is 81. She lives in a small cottage near Montpelier, Vermont. Her house is quiet, filled with natural light and lined with old wooden bookshelves, the kind that collect dust no matter what you do. She used to dread dusting. Her fingers stiffened with arthritis. Her shoulders ached from stretching. She'd clean one shelf and need to lie down afterward. Then one day, her son brought her a few bright-colored microfiber cloths. They looked simple, soft, nothing fancy. But when she used one for the first time, her face lit up. No chemicals, no wrist pain, just a clean shelf and the feeling of being capable again. Now she says, I don't dread dusting anymore. I do a little each day, and my hands, they thank me for it. It's amazing how something so small can make such a big difference. And here's a tip from Carol herself. Lightly dampen your microfiber cloth before dusting. It'll trap even more particles, and you won't need any sprays at all. So I want to ask you, have you tried using microfiber yet? Or are you still using old cloths that push the dust from one corner to the next? Tell me in the comments. And if you have a favorite microfiber brand or tip, share it. You never know who might be reading and who might need exactly what you've discovered. If this tip gave you a little relief for your hands, your lungs, or your peace of mind, don't forget to like this video. Share it with someone who might be one cloth away from a calmer, cleaner home. Because sometimes taking care of your space starts with taking care of yourself. And speaking of care, our next tip is all about reducing clutter, stress, and unnecessary steps, just by placing one simple object in the right place. Up next, a trick that feels small but makes a big difference. Tip number 5. Place mini trash bins around the house. Let me ask you something. Have you ever finished a snack in the living room, then looked toward the kitchen trash bin and thought, I'll throw it away later? But later becomes hours, and soon tissues gather on the table, wrappers hide between the couch cushions. That tiny mess? It grows, quietly, slowly, until it starts to wear on your mood. Now, why does that happen? Because for many older adults, crossing the house multiple times a day just to throw something away feels exhausting. And for some, it's even risky. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that falls are the leading cause of injury among seniors in the United States. And many of those happen during short and harmless walks across the home, especially when tired or distracted. So here's a tip that sounds small, but can completely change the way you feel in your space. Place small trash bins throughout your home. Yes, really. One near your favorite chair, one in the bedroom, one by your bathroom sink, even one beside your sewing machine, craft table, or TV remote. No more holding onto tissues or mail scraps until you're up anyway. No more saving up steps that slowly wear you down. Just toss it. Right then, right there. It sounds like nothing, but it's actually freedom. Let me tell you about someone who made this switch. Clarence is 77, and he lives alone in a mobile home just outside Santa Fe, New Mexico. A kind man, sharp-witted, but slowed by knee pain after years working as a mechanic. He told me that I used to make 10 trips a day to the kitchen trash, and by evening, I'd wonder why I was too tired to cook. His daughter noticed. The next weekend, she brought him 3 small bins from the dollar store. They weren't fancy, but they changed everything. Now Clarence throws things away as he goes. No more clutter. No more I'll do it later. And the best part? He says, I don't feel guilty about mess anymore. I feel in control again. And isn't that what we all want? This little trick, placing mini bins where you need them most, keeps your home cleaner, calmer, and safer. It may even reduce the risk of tripping over forgotten clutter or walking while tired. So tell me this, where would a small trash bin make life easier in your home? Is it your bedroom? Your reading nook? Maybe beside your favorite recliner? Share it in the comments below. And if you've tried this before, let us know how it's helped you. You never know who you might inspire. And if this tip gave you one of those, why didn't I think of that moments? Go ahead and give this video a like. Send it to someone who deserves a home that's easier to care for. Because at Golden Wise Elders, we believe the smartest changes are often the simplest ones. And speaking of simple, our next tip is the simplest of all. No tools, no supplies, just water, a dish, and one tiny shift that could save your hands for years to come. Let's turn the page to another gentle, helpful idea. Tip number 6, rinse dishes immediately. No more scrubbing later. Let me take you into a small kitchen. Afternoon sunlight filters through the curtains. A plate sits in the sink, one that was used hours ago, and on it, hardened sauce, dry crumbs, maybe a bit of egg stuck in the corner. You look at it, you know it needs to be washed, but just the thought of scrubbing, twisting, pressing, your hands already ache, your back says no, so you walk away. And later, it feels even worse. Sound familiar? For so many older adults, doing the dishes isn't just a chore. It's a battle, not because of the number of plates, but because of the kind of cleaning it requires. Dried on food turns an easy rinse into a full workout. And that workout, it can hurt. But here's something most people don't realize. It doesn't have to be that way. The best way to save your hands, your time, and your energy, rinse immediately or let it soak. Right after you eat, even if you're tired, take a moment, hold the plate under warm water, give it a quick rinse. Or if you're not ready to wash, place it in a small basin with soapy water to soak. No scrubbing, no pressure, just a simple shift. That makes a world of difference later. According to Dr. Emma Harris, a geriatric home care specialist, small preventive actions like rinsing dishes right away can significantly reduce the daily burden of housekeeping for older adults. It preserves strength and minimizes strain over time. Let me share a real story with you. Dorothy is 82. She lives alone in Duluth, Minnesota, in a little house with blue shutters and a porch swing. For years, Dorothy would eat dinner and let her dishes sit. Then later in the evening, she'd stand at the sink tired, scrubbing with stiff fingers, frustrated and sore. One day, after dropping a ceramic bowl, she finally said, "Enough." Now, the moment she finishes eating, she puts her dishes in a warm basin with a bit of gentle soap. Sometimes she rinses them right away. Sometimes she waits an hour or two, but no more scraping, no more pain. And she says something beautiful. "Now after dinner, I enjoy my tea, not my frustration." It's such a small habit, but it gives her evenings back, and her hands too. So I'm curious, do you rinse your dishes right after meals, or do they sit in the sink until later? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a trick to make cleanup easier, share that too. Because when we pass on small wisdom like this, we help lighten someone else's day. If you love lazy but smart tips like this one, go ahead and tap that like button and stick around. There's always more to learn, more to share, and more ways to make life just a little easier. So there you have it. 6 small, thoughtful changes. Rinsing your dishes early. Switching to soft microfiber cloths. Using a rolling cart instead of lifting. Cleaning just 10 minutes a day. Choosing smaller bottles. And placing trash bins where you need them most. They may seem simple at first glance, but for those of us carrying more years and more wisdom, these little shifts can bring real ease, real peace, and a little more grace into everyday life. Because getting older doesn't mean giving up. It means learning how to move differently, more gently, and more wisely. You've done more than enough for everyone else. Now it's time to take care of you in the way you deserve. Maybe these tips won't change the whole world, but they just might change your day. And you know what? Sometimes that's all we really need. If something in this video made you smile or made your shoulders relax just a bit, pass it on. Share it with a friend, a neighbor, or maybe even your adult children. We all deserve to live with less stress and more softness. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below, even just your favorite tip, because every voice adds to this circle we're building. A place where age isn't a burden, but a strength, where experience is shared, and where no one has to figure things out alone. If you haven't already, take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the little bell so you'll always know when a new story, a new idea, or a new moment of encouragement is ready for you. From all of us here at Golden Wise Elders, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your time. And most of all, thank you for still choosing to grow, to adapt, and to care. One gentle step at a time. We'll see you again soon. You're never walking this path alone. We're in this together.